actually kind of surprised. There was nothing on the STEM activity list for Scouts that involved anything with, like, science experiments. Maybe there was a website you could go on to that I haven't gone on to with them yet. Maybe that's where all the sciencey experiments were. But there was nothing like do a project like that. It's interesting.
Not make your own volcano of paper mache?
No.
Oh.
I know. I'd be interested to see if the kids want to do the science fair again this year. There's a lot of work for Micah Rose. However, she does have her certificate that she got from participating in it. She has it taped proudly on her door. So
Aww.
I know, it's so cute.
It's gotta be somewhere. It's probably somewhere on YouTube. I'm making the hot air balloon my dad and I made. My science fair. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Okay, so you take a wooden stick, like one you would find for a kite, right? Maybe even a little thinner. And you put it in hot water, and then you can mold it into a hoop. I should say mold it, but you can. It's more flexible
Manipulate
that way.
it? Yeah.
And then you can make it into a hoop, and then I think he either glued it or used some type of tape for the plastic bag, which is just like your normal painter's plastic, to the hoop. And then all you have to do is use a hairdryer and fill it up and let it go.
Really?
The first one he made was out of paper, like tissue paper.
Mm-hmm.
But because the shape of it, it looked like a condom. And my mom's like, we're not using that. Now, I didn't know at that time that was the reason, but it was until years later we were watching old VHS tapes of that balloon, and my mom's like, there's the flying condom.
Science projects gone wrong.
That's my mom.
That's amazing.
In her head, she's very bold, but in front of children, she'll hold it back.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta be both. That is amazing. So here's the interesting part about the science projects last year. They weren't allowed to bring the actual experiment into school.
And what's the point?
Right? Videos and pictures. That's all they wanted. Although I did notice at the actual fair, everybody did anyways. So I was like, what? Okay. And not to mention, everybody had like the exact same projects. So I was like, was there a list we were supposed to choose from, or
Everybody went to the same YouTube channel.
Same YouTube. Yeah, Micah Rose was the only one that was original, and the only one that looked like a 6-year-old actually completed it by herself.
Now, was that the sound one?
Yes, that was the Soundwave one with the
that's
guitar.
the one I helped with.
Yes. Anyways, see, I'm already on the topic of school.
Yeah, because you're a mom. You have to be at that. You probably were on it by July.
Yeah, basically. My countdown is getting so real right now. It is, what is it, Monday? 2 days. Two days. I'm so happy.
We started classes on Thursday. It's so weird, though. It's like 2 days of classes, then boom, you're at the 3-day weekend.
Seriously, what's with that? That's like poor planning.
It used to be when we would start it on Tuesday. And
Right.
have at least, all the classes done further. Hey, this is who we are. This is what I'm about. Instead of, we're going to have one area next week is going to be already into lesson 1. The other one's still trying to introduce themselves.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I always hate that the introducing yourself takes a whole week out of the module.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in class setting, usually it only takes a day. But for online, you gotta reply, and then you gotta wait, then you gotta respond, and then blah, blah, blah. So that always takes at least a week. But I think that's my least favorite week of the whole semester.
It used to be my favorite because it's like, oh, I don't have to do.
Mm-hmm, true. It's like a basic guaranteed A.
But that was before we had Blackboard and Canvas and online modules. It was just book and class. We didn't have... Online class was just online, and in class was just in class. They didn't mix the two together at that point.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that little doohickey. Yeah, that brings so many problems to my mind. Like, I don't think you want your kid knowing how to do that. I mean, unless you keep the thing locked away in your purse, but...
Now, is it just like a little knife?
No, I don't think it's... The best way I could describe it is like, maybe a clip, but like a mechanism that like you stick it on the 5-point harness, and I guess you push the button and it unlocks the harness.
Oh yeah, because it goes into the buckle part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I really do get that if like your kid is in pre-K and to like get them out of the car to do pre-K drop-off or whatever, but that's the thing it had advertised when I found it. I'm like, but no.
Most kids, though, they have the opportunity. They'll get out of the seat no matter what and start making trouble.
Exactly. It's one of those Facebook ads that I looked at it. It's like, oh no.
I think that's like 98% of the Facebook ads I see.
True.
Because at this point, it's like, oh, I already looked at that and I said no already.
I mean, I know there's a seatbelt lock already, and I contemplated getting one of those because my kids were very good at unbuckling their seatbelt when they shouldn't have been. Several occasions I had to pull over on the side of the road and say, you better get buckled or we're not going anywhere until you do. So here's a really funny story. Finally got Patrick to take us down to Elmira to see where his childhood family house was, which was cool. And then we were down there, so we were kind of thinking about what we wanted to do. And I was laughing. We ended up going to the mall and walking around. And then we ended up going, well, we were hungry by that time, so we ended up going to Texas Roadhouse. I'm like, that's everything we could have done up here. Patrick was feeling spontaneous for once. He's never spontaneous. So he's finally out of the house, and we did everything an hour away that we could have done in Vestal.
Okay, but nobody knows you though.
That is true.
I love when I go on a road trip, I will find an area in the middle of the trip to go shopping just because nobody knows me there.
He was laughing actually as we were driving home. He's like, oh my gosh, I made it to Elmira and I saw nobody I know.
It's like you're free to do whatever you want. Nobody can, see you do it.
True. That is nice.
Well, my mom and I yesterday went to Sleepy Hollow, and we stopped at Middletown because 2 weeks prior I was in New Jersey, and I stopped at Middletown then too. Where the marshals out there, they had this beautiful statue of the Headless Horseman, which anybody who knows me knows my obsession of the story of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
True.
Which I'll get into eventually. And it was $30, and I should have bought it then. And I didn't. I'm thinking it's August. It's too early. I told my mom about it, and she's like, we better stop and buy that statue. I'm like, okay. We go to Marshall's. They didn't have it anymore. I asked the woman. She's like, no, everything out is what we have now. That's it. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh. So basically from now on, you're going to be like, if you find a Headless Horseman anything, you're going to be buying it.
Be hoarding it.
You're going to have a nice little collection.
We holler from there. My mom's like, okay, we get you a mannequin of a guy. We put it in a black outfit. We take its head off. I'm like, okay, but what about the horse? And my mom's like, I can't think of everything for you.
I love your mom.
Everybody loves my mom. I was teaching the girls, my nieces, the 13, yo mama jokes. And then how you do have that competition in school with that, and nobody could ever do it for my mom, because like that would be how they ended.
It's true.
One person was like, your mom bought me chicken nuggets once.
And that is quite possibly the best your mom that ever was.
I have my friends from high school and my sister's friends from high school, 10-year difference, right? They ever see me, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, how are you? And the second thing that will always come out of their mouth is, how's your mom? Your mom was like, my mom.
That's amazing.
I did it!
So it's a plastic tool that can fit into the buckle of your children's safety seat that will push the button for them pretty much and release it.
Right.
So it's easy for them to do that. I feel like they could do that with like any kind of utensil that'll fit in there.
Yeah. So then even if you keep that tool, out of their reach, then if they find one that's similar, then you're screwed anyways.
That's like teaching your kid to be a MacGyver at that point.
True. I mean, I can see where that would be useful. I could also see it where that's a very bad idea.
It's like if I was to offer a tool to my cat to be able to undo the crate. at the vet
Exactly.
office.
Exactly.
And then chase after the vet's cat and get in a fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this topic leads me to my least, 100% least favorite thing about back to school. The drop-off line. I cannot with this topic. And I know there's so many other parents that agree with me already on this. Like, I make sure I have at least 1 cup of coffee before I go drop my kids off, so I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm driving like a human being, not driving like a drowsy human being, or somebody who has no idea what's going on. So you park on the circle, which is basically parallel parking, so your kid can get out and get on the sidewalk and walk to the door to school. They have the whole circle itself is probably no bigger than this room that we're in now and your living room.
That's small.
It's small, right? Like between 5 and 7 cars can fit in there in one time, tops. It's ridiculous. So everybody is like rushing to get their kid out of the car. Like, you don't want to be there for more than 2 minutes tops. It's stupid is what it is.
It's a tool to drive your stress levels up.
Yes. Oh my God. Like,
it's a circle of confusion.
The circle of insanity is more like, like if I have to use the circle, which 99% of the time anymore I don't, because my kids are walkers, thank God. So we get to go on the more calm side of things. But if I have to use the circle, I hate it. Like, it gives me an anxiety attack. It's terrible. But that's part of the reason why they invent those things, though, is to help rush you. And it's just bad. It's bad juju. I don't like it.
It's a situation they're forcing you to make a choice about any options.
Yes.
Except for, you have options because you can walk.
Right.
But, yeah, I'd be kicked off about it, too.
Well, basically, either they're forcing you to teach your kids how to be unsafe, or I'm trying to think about this logically here, and it's just not coming to mind.
Logic went out the window.
Oh my God, logic? What even is logic right now? You're killing me. Being fast or being safe, that's basically what it comes down to. And that tool is part of the problem. So
it's like the same stress level as somebody's about to parachute out of an airplane in war.
Yeah.
Go, jump. Unlock, go.
We're entering the zone.
You don't leave, I'll push you out. You push.
Tuck and roll, kids. Tuck and roll. That's basically it. Like, you're not even... It's bad.
I looked out.
This year, one nice thing is that we'll be able to walk again, so won't have to rush out the door and, that
you
fun stuff.
gracefully walk while drinking your coffee and your cool mug, and then you just hold it up to the parents or drive in a circle like, yeah, not me right now.
Basically.
Chug. Or you can be nice and you can deliver coffees to them.
I'm not that nice. The nice part of my day is making sure that I've had enough coffee to where if you have to deal with me, I'm not going to bite your head off. That's being nice.
I've told some of the professors I've seen this semester so far that I now have a coffee maker up in the booth, and one's like, oh my God, that's great, because she just had to wait in line for 15 minutes and she couldn't get her coffee and left to go teach the class.
Right. They don't have time. See, that's where I feel the teachers. They do not have time for anything.
Mm-mm.
Like, man, I almost went into teaching, and I decided it was not the way to go. So I had a teacher that was sort of like that in elementary school, and my favorite lesson, and I will still remember it, is I think it was gravity. She let us bring our roller skates into school, and we were just roller skating in the parking lot. It was like friction and gravity, that section.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. That was my very most favorite science lesson.
And you got an activity out of it.
Exactly, and we got exercise
So you
out
get
of
multi-sensory.
Yes.
Which is like the way I learn.
Yes.
I need multi-sensory to be able to learn.
She did that kind of stuff all year long.
That's amazing.
Mrs. Evans. That's who it was. That was my 3rd grade teacher, and she was awesome.
My favorite teacher was also my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Sullivan.
Nice.
And I think it was a math midterm, I got a 95. Now, back then we had almost like little mailboxes, it was a big box, you had your own little cubby area. You would pick your exams out of there when they were done, right?
Yeah.
When I came in that day, mine didn't have the exam, and I was confused, and she made a big announcement about it.
Aww.
And made a big deal out of it because she knew it was a bigger struggle for me to be able to take real-time tests and get the higher score, because there was somebody else that got like hundreds, right?
Right.
But they were always getting hundreds.
Right.
For me getting a 95, she made such a big deal out of it.
Aww.
Yeah, I always remember that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she still lives in Owego, and when I was practicing to take my motorcycle test, this had to be, almost 10 years ago, I think I got my motorcycle license. I purposely drove to her house because I knew she lived there.
Aww.
And all I had to do was put the visor up, and she saw my big brown eyes, and she's like, "It's Hope."
That's awesome.
My big brown eyes, my red cheeks give me away.
It's true.
It is.
Well, and the motorcycle.
I made 3 sugar pumpkins into puree in a big bag in my freezer.
Ooh.
And I got 3 jack-o'-lantern pumpkins still growing.
Nice.
One of them I think I'm going to make into pumpkin wine.
Ooh. I was kind of looking for that. I went to the Vestal wine store, Vestal Wine and Liquor, and I was like, is pumpkin wine even a thing?
Fruit wine is also bottled and finished. I have a cranberry mango that is in the fridge to kill the leftover yeast because it fermented as far as I want it. It's going to be in there for a little bit longer now, considering my lovely situation this morning we'll get into.
Are you sure?
Yes. And now I have a coffee wine I'm working on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. I do want to try that one.
It's actually the maple coffee that I got while we were out doing autumn shopping. So you put just 1 cup in a gallon jar, and then you put water that's 110 or 120 in temperature in there. And then you leave it for 24 hours. Then you filter it out to another container to get the grounds out, and then you add the sugar and the yeast and the nutrition for the yeast and put the airlock on. So, Erica, this wonderful story. So,
she's doing it.
We're going to do it.
That's why we were on vinegar earlier.
My re-racker that I had wasn't up to par. It was old, so I had to order a new one. Before the new one came in through the mail, I used my old one, and I used a coffee filter on top of that and a funnel, because I made this hard cider that was originally mulled cider you can get from Walmart. And I just added the sugar and yeast, and I added raisins for nutrition. And it tastes amazing, but it went more boozier than I wanted, so I put it in the fridge with a cap on for 4 days to kill the leftover yeast out. So I had a nice little layer of the layer on the bottom, and then I racked it into the bottles, and I let the bottle set for a while, and there was nothing on the bottom. I'm like, okay, great. So I put the caps on tighter, and I put it in my mechanics room to age. And this was 2 weeks ago. This morning, with my new racker, I racked the maple wine, and I racked the fruit wine, and it was completely done. I'm ready to be bottled. So I go to put that in my mechanics room, and I look through the other bottles, and I noticed this hard cider had some more dead yeast on the bottom. I'm like, oh, great. So I brought it upstairs in my kitchen, and I carefully opened the first bottle that had the most fluid in it in the kitchen sink, and it popped from the pressure, and you have a little bit of overflow and a fuzz, and that's it. So I dumped the rest of that in a disinfected jar. The second bottle And again, I opened it in the kitchen sink, and the thing freaking blew up. It squirted a flow up to the ceiling of my kitchen. It was almost like Freddy Krueger when the blood spewed out of the bed. It felt like it was just like that. It went all over the kitchen, all over me. And the only thing you can stand there is just watch. And I started laughing like a mad woman because I thought that was hysterical.
Like it was happening in slow motion.
Yes!
Can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything about this. You can't stop it at this point. And then when that finished, all of a sudden the oven went off for the pumpkin scones.
Oh, jeez. You know, at least it didn't explode all over the scones.
That's true.
So you got that going for you.
But I'm using all my Halloween kitchen towels to wipe all the walls, on top of the fridge, the counters, the cabinets everywhere, the top of the ceiling. And then I mixed some vinegar and hot water in the sink, and I wetted one of the towels and just Swiffered the towel around to mop the floor to get the stickiness off. It took half hour to clean up. And I had to do a load of laundry just for towels.
Oh, damn.
And then when I think, okay, that's clean, all of a sudden I hear tires on my gravel driveway spin. I'm like, what the heck is that about? And I hear knocking. And I go out to my porch, and there's this dude I've never seen before. He's like, hey, I'm Rick. I noticed you're not doing anything with your apple tree right now. Can I get some of your apples tomorrow and I can have it pressed at home? I want to make apple cider. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'll bring a jug for you afterwards. Okay.
At least you weren't covered in
I changed at that point. I changed
to the door point. Dripping wet. Smelling like wine.
Welcome to the party house.
Oh, Lord.
So Rick is going to make me apple cider for my own apples, and then I can ferment that too. So there we go.
That's awesome. Very cool.
I have to ask him though if I see him again what he uses to press.
True.
Because then maybe I could experiment next year. But usually my apples, the first year I had this house were huge, and the past few years they just don't get very big. So I just leave them alone unless they look like they're
edible.
Could be useful.
Right, right.
Or just let the squirrels take it. But heck, if he wants to bring the ladder over in the bucket, go ahead, take my apples.
There you go. We have blackberry bushes actually growing in our backyard. They have been for quite a while, so they're huge now. We actually replanted them from the upper level down to the lower level into our garden beds. So they're huge, and they did so well this year. Except the birds get at them. The birds and the rabbits. So we have to make sure we pick them and get to enjoy them before all the animals get them. Which sucks because our backyard is all fenced in. So, but the critters still get in there, which is why I don't garden anymore.
I have grapes I never planted growing in the back of my house. There's a shed, and they have 4 brushes. I don't know what you call it. Clutters of grapes? Is that a good term for that?
I have no idea.
Okay, we have thanies, 4 thanies of grapes that are turning right now. Nice. And if I could find my French press, I would use it to squeeze the grapes and maybe make grape juice out of it.
Ooh. Nice.
But I have no idea where I put that thing.
So I actually had squashes one year grow in my front garden that I had nothing to do with. And I think it was because the squirrels were eating my pumpkins. And they actually distributed the seeds and they grew. It was kind of cool. I'm like, thank you, squirrels.
I've had 3 honorable mentions in Instagram.
For your pictures?
Yes.
I saw them.
Yes, I'm different.
So do you enter them or do they just enter you?
You can hashtag these Instagrams and then they will choose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they did. And then I do have a contest on Instagram that I joined for lawn exposure of lights at night. So I put in some of the fairer photos of the rides.
Nice.
And that got 11 comments.
Decent.
Yeah. And then 2 of the cemetery photo shares I got 211 likes, 10 comments. Another one, first one I had, which I was like ecstatic about, 189 likes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I'm very excited. And then today, I think I had 2 photos.
That's like regular person viral.
Yes. I'm at that level, regular person. And then I did a photo shoot. My friend Jenna's dog, Luna. Not Luna, sorry, Gypsy.
There. She's so cute.
Yes, and that's been used for products. Because it's a dog model.
No kidding.
Yes. A dog model, so that's cool. And then another friend, photo shoot I did years ago for her at a cemetery. We did like a goth, vampire, Victorian theme. Like she had multiple outfits. She's an actress, nice. So she just gets changed in her van and come out in a new outfit, different makeup, right? And we do all over the cemetery. And she's still using these photos. One was for a play she was in a musical.
Nice.
Another one she's using for Edgar Allan Poe play that she did.
Which one?
It's a mix of his stories.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and they're right now doing a group fund to be able to take it to Baltimore because they've been invited.
Nice.
To where Edgar Allan Poe was living.
Right.
To perform this.
That's too cool.
Yeah.
There was a collection of his stories that they had there at the Cracker Barrel when we were looking, and I was really, really, really tempted to get it.
I have some of that if you want to take one.
Yeah?
I'm a big Edgar Allan Poe person. If I see anything on clearance or on sale, I'll grab it. My dad, actually, he's an electrician in some of the schools, universities he worked on. If he found free books of poetry about him, he'd grab it for me.
Nice. Yeah, I just might do that. I've always been a fan, but I've never really read many. I think there was Telltale Heart we read in school, and I really liked that one.
I love the Black Cat story.
Yeah? I don't know if I heard that one.
He was the first one to write a detective story for Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
So he actually created that genre.
Nice. Cool. I can't say he's one of my favorites just because I haven't read much of his stuff, but he's one of the authors on my list of things that I'd like to read.
I read him quite a few times, and I remember one time I was rereading a book that I had heavy metal music playing in my headphones, and it fit perfectly all the songs.
Oh, that is amazing.
It was like when Pink Floyd did Wizard of Oz. It was the same vibe. Like, all this so fits. Cool. And it was Christian heavy metal music, too, on top of that.
Yeah, I
like
can
Skillet.
See that, though. Yeah.
Like Skillet and Red.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, yes. I think the best part was Red Song, The Darkest Part of Me, which is like 11 minutes long. And the theme is a old Italian doctor with the crow-looking mask in the music video for that song.
Nice.
And the artwork. And that song kicked on was Reading the Raven. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
Synchronicity of awesomeness.
Definitely.
But I think it was ever to update an actual playlist of music for reading his stories, I'd say Imagine Dragons had to mix up on it.
Absolutely. Definitely.
As a crow is chirping in the background right now.
Perfect. Thank you.
And cut.
End scene.
End scene.
I am too slow for this little fruit fly.
It's like, I'm on to you. I'm going to get your pumpkin beer.
That's what it wants. First week of school, all intelligent thoughts go out the window. Just trying to make it through the week.
I'm happy we're back in session because it feels like the semester goes a little bit easier and faster because you're so used to the rhythm of the classes.
True.
Compared to all the random events.
See, I like that you have that side of it where you get the rhythm of it, and I feel like I am usually struggling to actually understand the material still half the time. So there is no rhythm. There is just struggling, from the student perspective. But the teachers and employees, they actually get I'm jealous. I'm a little bit jealous of that aspect. I'm dreading it. I'm already dreading it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Statistics, man. Which is not the most difficult math, and I actually do enjoy statistics, like rolling dice and playing cards and things like that. I get that stuff. But still, it's math.
I think one of the professors I work with is actually, that's part of her doctorate is statistics.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
So if you need a hookup.
Nice. Don't tell me that. Listen, because the last 2 semesters, I really could have used a hookup. However, that was discrete math, so I will the thing about statistics versus discrete math is that statistics goes back to black and white. Discrete math, there is no black and white. It is all gray area.
What one's the danger zone? Because that's where I am.
Huh?
Which one's the danger zone? Because that's where I am.
Discrete math, for sure.
Okay. Woo! I'm discrete.
Yes. Okay, well, discrete is more like the going to lose your mind zone.
Oh, I don't feel that way.
True.
I feel like all the risk I take, at least I played it out in my head in a couple scenarios. I'm like, yeah, I can accept all these and go for it.
So you probably are more statistics.
Statistic.
God damn.
God dang it, Erica.
I know. I'm killing myself here. Freaking word vomit, man.
Just like my hard cider vomited.
Exactly. Yes. That is an accurate description of my word vomits tonight.
You could just think of that visual.
Yeah. The words just whooshing out of your mouth and not making any sense whatsoever. Word vomit, that's what I call it. Well, it's really funny because being with a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old all day is not very good adult conversation.
The
7-year-old pretends to be good at adult conversation.
Good for her, though. She's trying. I think I was that way, too.
Oh, God. But there's so much she shouldn't even be trying to understand right now.
Is she faking it, like, nodding her head, like,
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Well, and the worst part is she tries to argue with me about things she doesn't even understand. So that kind of kills my brain cells a little bit. And then I have my own thoughts on it that I can't voice out loud, right? So all of that combined. So it's like I have all these thoughts in my head, and they're all trying to come out at once. In no logical pattern.
The pipe's only so big.
It's true. And I have a feeling that is how most stay-at-home moms feel. Stopped by gates, alright? That's one thing you gotta know about me and Hope.
I've jumped to so many gates to take pictures of something, and I don't know how I have not got arrested.
Perhaps announcing it might be going too far.
Oh well. Come and get me.
I mean, we're not doing any harm.
It's like last year when I went to Sleepy Hollow with my friends Jenna and Tyler. The gates closed at 4:30 for the cemetery, so we just parked on a side road in the Suburbans, and we just went through the Dutch church part of it, which was just a staircase, and then we were in the cemetery.
Right.
Like, we were, according to everyone else, we were trespassing because one of the signs had to be closed, and we're like, what are you going to do? Tell us to leave the cemetery, we walk away. Like, she was...
Basically.
I mean, it would be real cool if somebody just dressed up as the Headless Horseman and chased us out. See, that'd be boss.
I'll have to think on that. I could set that up.
Because, like, I know people.
I just watched Annabelle 2. I really liked that one.
I haven't seen the second one. I've only seen the first one.
You should watch the second one. It's good.
Better than the first one?
Way better than the first one.
I thought the first one was really boring.
Yes, I thought so too.
And I have a doll phobia.
Right.
You think I'd be like an edge? No, nothing.
Nothing. I didn't even get slightly intrigued until like the last 10 minutes. So, whatever. And this is coming from somebody who does not like scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But you've come so far.
Oh my, I feel like I'm impressed with my own self because I have come so far. To the point where the last time you came over, I was sitting on the couch by myself. It was like 9 o'clock at night. Everybody was in bed. I was watching Us.
Yeah.
All by myself.
I love the fact I got to watch it a second time now.
Yes.
After the first time, it was like, whoa. Then watching it a second time, I caught all the symbolism.
Mm-hmm. See, they already had talked it up at work, so I already knew there was a huge twist. I was already expecting something, so it was good. I enjoyed that one too.
Now, did you expect the ending it had?
I don't know if I would say that. I knew it had to be more than the fact that she just got lost for 15 minutes, which was what they thought the entire movie. I knew it had to be more detrimental than that.
I assumed that because they saw each other that the tether was stronger. That was because the whole movie to me is about duality because we all have our dark side and our light side. And I'm one of those people that like coexistence of the two and make them shake hands and have them agree each other. I'm like the UN of my dark and light side.
True.
Okay, you agree with that? Okay, you agree with that.
See, the way I think of that kind of stuff is like the shoulder angel and the shoulder devil, right?
Yeah, your mind in the middle. So I assumed that they had a stronger tether of each other, and that's why they felt each other, and it was much stronger. I did not expect they switched.
Right. I don't want to say
We just gave a spoiler away, FYI.
Yes. We are going to talk movies all the time. We're not going to be sorry about spoilers. So, sorry, not sorry. But no, I don't think I expected what happened at the end. I knew it had to be something intense. That's all my mind can say.
I loved that the youngest son was a magician throughout the whole movie, if you noticed that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
he was like the smartest one of them all.
Yeah, he figured out his tether to his clone to make him set himself on fire. And then in the end, he's holding a white rabbit in the ambulance.
Right. Okay, how he got rid of his tether, that was my favorite part of that movie. I still don't understand the rabbits, though. Was that the test subjects they did for the tether?
Cloning rabbits was a thing, and then they ate the live rabbits down there. That's how they survived.
They did. Oh.
Also, you have the term, Alice in Wonderland. You're following the white rabbit.
Okay.
And she's going down, following the white rabbit.
Going down the rabbit hole. Gotcha. Symbolism, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of rabbit symbolism. I remember the daughter at some point, I think it was the dad was showing the boat off, was wearing a shirt with a rabbit on it.
Oh. See, I didn't pick up on clues like that the first time around. I'll have to watch it again.
So the rabbit is symbolism for falling into a different dimension or mindset. I like to, at least, I'm optimistic, so I'm thinking you're ascending, but I mean, some people question descend because they're idiots, but... It's sent into a different level of consciousness and understanding. I know consciousness is a hot topic in philosophy, so
very nice.
We won't get deep into that.
Well, and I feel like that's what she was trying to get the people down there to do, because when she was little, they swapped places, right? So she was trying to get the people down there to ascend to consciousness instead of eating live rabbits.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And the world saw them as taking over, but to them it was actually
they're
living.
leveling up.
Right.
And then you go into conspiracy theorists. They think they're symbolizing the 5G network because that's a hot trend right now.
Really?
Yes. 5G is going to destroy everything.
I mean, that whole bit at the very end there, where they're all around, the whole globe, basically holding hands. Yeah.
Because that was a memory she kept while she was on top.
Right.
And then the red Michael Jackson Thriller shirt, he's wearing red.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if the red coveralls were a shout out to Michael Jackson and Thriller.
Could be.
Which makes sense because it was a zombie type apocalypse sub idea.
Fair enough. No, that was a good one, though. Yeah, both those movies are good.
Did you see The Nun yet?
No, but I want to.
I thought it was a letdown.
Really?
Just FYI.
They have both versions on Popcorn Time. And I want to start with the older version first, and then I want to watch the remake.
There was the older version?
Mm-hmm.
I only seen the Conjuring version.
Let me pull up what I found.
Ooh, she found something I didn't find.
Well, I have this thing now that I'm kind of into the scarier movies. I want to start with the originals first, right? So I know I've seen it many times before, but I watched that before I watched the remake, just because that's how I am. All right.
Can you ever replace Tim Curry as a weird clown?
Absolutely not. You just can't replace Tim Curry, period. So.
Nope.
I think there was a really good meme that was floating around was, you know how old you are by where you know Tim Curry from?
Yes.
One of my favorite memes.
First time I saw him was Muppet Treasure Island.
Muppet Treasure Island, yep. I remember watching that in the theaters, I think.
That's when I saw it too.
I will always remember him as Hexus in Ferngully. So I almost let Kaylee watch Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, the original version?
Original version. Micah and Pat were out swimming. Kay didn't want to go swimming that day. She wasn't feeling good. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. She was all kinds of excited about it. I couldn't get it to load on Popcorn Time. I was so mad. I know. So she's still waiting for me to come through with that promise.
I used to have that on DVD and I don't anymore. When I moved, I had got rid of so many B-movies, scary movies I had on DVD. I remember I had it in the bag to drop it off at Salvation Army. Right when I was entering that shed to drop things off, this woman came out that worked there. She's like, "What you got?" And I'm like, "Some DVDs." And she looked in the bag. She's like, "There's a woman here right now looking for stuff like this." I took the bag inside immediately. And I was like, "Well,
nice.
Bye, my friends. Peace out."
I swear to God, there was a 70s version, though. This is all The Conjuring.
Night of the Living Dead was how my mom desaturated me to horror movies.
And that's what I plan to do with Kay.
Yes, because I was 4 when my mom was watching it. She watched it with me. It was during the daytime, though.
Yeah.
But I remember she kept explaining, like, the blood was chocolate sauce and they were nibbling in mannequin parts. Like, she was breaking the illusion of what the movie was. And from there on out, it was hard for me to take a movie serious ever again.
Exactly. Well, okay, so Night of the Living Dead is not going to be Kaylee's first scary movie. She actually has watched The House. We sat there, Patrick put it on just for giggles because we were bored one day. And she sat there and watched the whole damn thing. And she was laughing so hard. I was like, that's amazing.
I do the same thing to those movies. I'll laugh at things.
See, though, she has this funny reaction to pain also, I noticed. So it might be similar with scary stuff, which is completely fine. I mean, she can hone in on that when she gets older, as long as, you know, if I show her these movies and explain it to her, we can work on it. But I found it. It's 1966.
Wow.
Right?
Is it the same plot line?
I doubt it. I just clicked on it, so let's see what it brings up.
I think the only cool part about the Nun movie was how they took her down, the actual nice nun, how she took her down. Which I won't say because I won't spoil it for you.
Right, because this one, I do want to see this one because it's 60s. I don't think I've seen many from the 60s. What year was Night of the Living Dead?
Night of the Living Dead was also 60s.
Okay, you know, maybe I actually did start watching The Nun. I can't remember.
I'm going to Google The Nun 60s, and hopefully it actually comes up in a movie, not something weird. 1966. Okay.
Yep. My Google is very slow right now. It recognizes your internet, but it doesn't like it.
What a weird poster.
Right?
Oh, it's French. Okay, that explains a lot.
There we go.
I think the old Nun movie isn't a scary movie. I think it's a melodrama of a woman that wants to follow the flesh or be a nun, according to Google.
Which is probably why you didn't realize it existed.
I guess not. This sounds like an adult movie plotline.
Damn.
The way I'm reading it.
Well, then I guess I'm not watching the 60s version. I'll go straight to the Conjuring one. Now I gotta see where it fits in the Conjuring universe, though. I could have sworn to you it was the original. Oh, see
great.
this? I claim innocence. It's my first time, guys. I'm just getting into it.
Oh, it would have been great if you clicked on that movie, tried to watch it, and also hear Bam Chicka Bam Wow music. You're like,
Yeah, you probably would. For the 60s, though? Come on, let's be honest.
No, 60 would have had like a synthesizer, horrible organ music instead.
But I think that's how I found it, though. I was looking up old 60s movies. That's how it popped up. Oh, God. Maybe I should be more specific.
Okay, you saw both Conjurings?
Yes, 1 and 2.
Okay, which one did you like the most?
Did I see the second one? I can't remember much of the
second one. It was England, the apartment.
Yeah. I like the second one better of that one also.
Okay. I'm mixed. I like them both for different reasons. The first one I felt like had more on-set camera effects. Where the second one, I think they depended a little bit more on CGI, but I like what they did with the color grading in the beginning when they did the Amityville Horror house, how they set that up. Because I liked that part where, what's her name? The wife. Is acting like the killer. Like, that's great. Like, that's like hardcore acting right there. Where you're playing two characters at the same time.
She was acting like the killer?
Yeah, I remember because she was doing a seance. And she was channeling it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember.
And I love the shot where she goes in front of the mirror and she sees the killer with the gun. And she's air cocking the gun.
That's the first 5 minutes, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that was my favorite scene of the second one.
The visual, and I'm thinking, this actress was like, this is what I did all this hard work for a scene like this. That is amazing acting.
Yes. She actually is my favorite character of both those movies.
Yes.
Her. I do
Lorraine, right? Has to be Lorraine, I think that's her name.
I feel like yes. I usually watch them late at night, so bear with me.
Yeah, Lorraine Warren, because it was based off her and her husband, some paranormal cases.
Now, the second one, I actually forgot they had a kid. So that startled me for a minute. I'm like, wait, who is this now? Oh, okay, we're good.
Is this a real kid, or did they adopt a ghost kid?
Right, exactly. But no, we're good. I remember.
I like how she's the one that had to save the day, too. Because she's the one to figure out the nun's name.
Yes,
or the
she
demon's
did.
name, actually.
Exactly. Not only does she channel, and she does most of the work, but she's badass, too. So she's like a really strong female character.
Yeah, and it's like, in this movie, at least, they're a cute couple.
They are an adorable couple.
They are very adorable.
God.
It's like, you want to think, being demon hunters for the Catholic Church, be like, oh, I'm going to get this cute romance going on. They do,
and it was supposed to be their last one, too, right? Like, they stopped doing it.
They're going to do a third one.
I mean, in the movie that was supposed to be,
the last case?
Yeah, they quit doing the cases because she got scared.
Well, yeah, her husband almost died, so I would
understandably.
Too.
Yeah.
Be like, I got this far and settled on you. You better live.
Basically.
I don't want to go back in the dating scene. You better live.
I mean, with a 9-year-old kid, no, you definitely don't. That one scene, though, when she was with her kid in the living room, and that's when they both saw the nun. That was like one of my favorite scenes. Love it. And then she wrote the name in the book, but she didn't realize what it meant.
Yeah, she wrote it in the Bible, too, of all things.
Of all things. Oh, it's good. I like it. So I might actually go home and watch the third. There's a third one, right?
There's going to be a third one.
Gotta be a third one.
I think by now they're done in principal photography.
To see what's on time again. What can I watch tonight? Oh no, I get to watch Annabelle Comes Home tonight. Okay, so creepy fun fact. My 7-year-old, Micah Rose, she was drawing and she was naming the characters in her drawings, but she called one of them Annabelle 2. My child, where did you even hear that from?
Was she asleep when you were watching it or talking about it?
I don't talk about watching them at home, though. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the one day I did because they were irritating me so bad. I'm like, listen, I'm watching this movie, and it's a scary movie, so I'm forewarning you. But they didn't mention the doll's name. And besides, that was The Conjuring 2 that I was watching. So it had nothing to do with Annabelle. And,
wasn't Annabelle introduced in one of the Conjuring movies? Maybe it was the first one.
It was, but barely. It's in there for barely 5
Yeah.
minutes, and I know they didn't
to at
see
least
that
set
part.
up the universe.
Right, exactly. But I'm like, where did you hear that from? She's like, I made it up in my head.
Oh, she had heard of it.
I know. Had to have somewhere. I mean, I know it's on the commercials on TV and stuff, but we got rid of Spectrum, so. Anyways, that's my child. That's my 7-year-old.
Another unique fact about Paula being my mini-me, she's also not a fan of dolls.
Nice.
And I don't think that was an impression from me. We went to Robertson Mansion one year, and they had this room in the mansion dedicated to dolls, and I'm not going in there. So I'm thinking, so I didn't go in, and my sister's like, don't say anything, because she didn't want me to influence. Not right. Paula. Paula goes in there for a sec, she's like, no!
Oh, hell no. Okay, so
we both dipped in the same cheat of the cheat pool of the family.
That's awesome, because neither one of my kids, they both hate clowns. My kids both hate clowns. And, I know sometimes Patrick will tease me. He'll try to put on a clown movie and be like, ha ha ha. I'm like, yeah, no. But never when they're around. Usually they'll be in bed. So they both have this extreme dislike for clowns. And I'm like, that's awesome, because you're definitely my kid. I know I didn't rub that off on them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, history of clowns, though, if you look at the history of it, it is really creepy, because they were jesters, and they always wore a mask, and they were the only ones to get away with specific behavior.
Because of the mask.
Because of the mask. And then you think of it, you can't see who's behind that. You can only see eyes coming out, so that is, very,
That's creepy in of itself.
It's like your choice. You could deal with the jester, you could deal with the Italian doctor with the crow mask. I'll take the crow mask.
Seriously.
Crows are more friendlier.
At this point, it's true. I was mean last Halloween. I actually bought a really creepy looking clown that I can hang outside. I'm trying to get myself over my fear of clowns.
Yeah, I won't get over dolls. I just hate dolls. It's not going to happen.
No, it probably, I will always have a great dislike for clowns. I will not always be scared of them. I used to be terrified of them. I think it started with, there was Boo at the Zoo, at the Ross Park Zoo. We went with our Tioga Trails group when I was 14 or 15. I think there was a guy in a clown costume that chased us up the very first hill with a chainsaw. And that was it.
My sister had to, I wouldn't say robotic, because we're not, this is simple mechanics, movable dolls. One was on roller skates and one crawled. You put batteries in it. I mean, this is old toy pattern. It used to be that you would wind it, and the little metal bars and the little gears would move around. So this is nothing different, but these were, at this point in the 80s, battery powered. And she had those, I'm going to assume that might be where it came from. Because you think about it, I was 10 years younger. Mm-hmm. You see someone the same size as you moving like that, I'm sure it dramatized me.
Probably, yeah. All I can think about right now is the really old movie The Ring. How she moved. That kind of just that movement. It's terrifying.
I lucked out and I saw Scary Movie 3 before I saw The Ring, so I already had the riffs in my head about it, and that's what I was thinking about when I watched it.
I actually watched that one with my sister and one of her friends. It was terrifying. We watched all sorts of stuff like that, and I was always terrified, but I still watched it with them.
I worked DVD rental. I remember I rented the Japanese version first, the original, and then I did the American.
Nice.
But the Japanese, you had to read all the subtitles and understand what was going on, so
right.
I think I missed half of the visuals of the movie.
Because you're trying to focus on reading.
I watched it once, but I'm trying to remember. Wasn't it just reversed film? How to make the movement of the girl out of the well?
I think so. That sounds right.
Reverse film, it's pretty much under cranking the camera. So the film is 24 frames per second, so you would shoot it as like 11 or 10 frames per second. But when you play back, it'd be 24 frames per second. So you're speeding up the slow motion and then you reverse it, so it's really abnormal.
That's where the jerkiness comes
yeah,
from.
so, and then you have your mind realizing this is not something normal.
Right. Oh.
And then your fear kicks in because you want to either fight or flight.
That's like a whole level of realizing something's not right.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I have a degree in this, so...
That is fantastic.
I have literally a degree of how to mess your mind up with a movie. You're welcome. I try to use it for good, though.
So your brain is sitting there trying to figure something out while you're... Oh, that is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's also a really good technique if you were to use it for, like, a flashback of a villain explaining its murder.
Nice.
Because you make it more of a sociopath or psychopath that way, the way the jerky movements. So it's just a way to get you to realize this isn't safe.
Read it.
I started the first Hunger Games, and I actually do like it better than the movie.
Oh, it's so much better than the movie. I was actually really mad about the Hunger Games, the third movie. Did not do it justice at all.
I think I relate more to Catelyn in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that she actually didn't have a romance at all.
No. That's all they try to show in the movie.
Yeah.
And that makes me really mad. Like, that was not her intent at all.
Yeah, and then I like that we know more about Peeta's abuse situation.
Yes, and they don't say that at all in the movies.
Mm-mm.
The differences in those movies and books makes me so mad. It's almost as bad as Twilight. But no, those are good series too.
So I'm only a little bit, like, a fourth way through the first book.
Yeah.
I get, like, days, like, I read a couple of chapters, and then a couple of days, I'm like, that's it, that's good for now. I got things I gotta figure out.
Right. I'm lucky if I get 2 or 3 pages in a book at a time.
I'll tell you what, I got photos to edit from Sleepy Hollow, and then I have a new flash kit that I bought for my camera that I need to figure out. And then I have to edit this, so that's going to take up the free time reading for a while.
Right. Jealous. What is free time? I am just waiting.
A different kind of edit style where I'm editing sections and saving the sections and then put it into a different order that flows. Instead of trying to edit us going scattered all over the place. Although I think we're doing better this time, being more...
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many pictures did you take at Sleepy Hollow?
Let me open this up!
Because I know when I take pictures, it's really bad on my phone because I could just click it a bazillion times and then I go back through and see if I got a good one that I like. And that's probably not a very good way to take pictures.
I'm doing the math. I want to say... about 400.
Decent.
Funny is that I told my mom ahead of time that I'm going to spend a whole day at the cemetery.
And did you?
Taking pictures. Yeah, we did, but I think we went there and then we went for lunch in town and went back. And then she was like, okay, she kept asking where Washington Urban was. I'm like, we're not there yet. He's at the other side.
Oh, God.
And she's like, when are we going to get there? I'm like, when we get there? She's like, how long are we going to be here? I'm like, I told you I was going to be here the whole day at the cemetery.
You got to know that cemetery pretty well by now.
Yes, I'm like, the whole time, because I've never been able to take a digital camera and run through that whole cemetery. So the only time, I think it was when I was by myself on the film camera.
Mm-hmm.
And then another time I went by myself, I had the digital camera, but that was on tours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is the time where I can actually just walk the whole cemetery. It's a huge cemetery, and a lot of celebrities and writers and millionaires out there in the cemetery. And I'm like, I told you we're gonna take all day. And she's like, I gotta get home and do things. And I'm like,
it's a 5-hour road trip, lady.
I told her, like, I did not drive almost 3 hours to take a couple snapshots and go. Because one thing is, like, I'm different than my family. Yeah. I have that learning disability, and then I have to be so visual that I can spend time looking at a leaf in a specific light and watching the wind blow it and see it differently. Mm-hmm. I can focus so many minutes on that, where they don't have that. My mom's very impatient at times. And this is, sometimes we have this head off that happens once in a while, and I told her, look, I did not drive all this way to just a couple snapshots and go. I'm going to cover the whole cemetery. If I gave her the keys to my car, I'm like, look, go take my car somewhere. Go sit in the AC. I don't care. You can come back and get me. Mm-hmm. It's okay. And she just like, fine, and she walked off to the car. Oh. And then when I finally came back to the car, she wasn't even sitting in the car. She was like standing next to it. And like, you could have just sat there with the AC. She's like, yeah, but when she told me a story, that should make my mom, sound whatever. I'm not trying to make my mom sound like a horrible person.
No, like that. I know.
Yeah, she's just like, when I tried to put the key in ignition of my dad's car, which is the old Camry, some like alarm went off and freaked her out, so she was scared of doing that. And I'm like, no, that's okay. And then she was fine after that. I think we're at a point now, I think she understands that I'm just different. Yeah. It's just the way my brain's wired. I can't fix that or change that, neither would I want to.
See, that's actually really funny that you put those points of perspective quite like that, because in my brain, I have both. Mm-hmm. So I can sit there for 10 minutes and watch that leaf change positions, but then the other side of my brain will actually get frustrated that I'm sitting there for that long. So I'm like,
So I get frustrated when I do. I know it's because I'm doing something that I rather, what's the term? I know there's something better method to be doing something. Mm-hmm. And I need to stop and I need to think. And I'm like, oh, I need to change the lens, or I need to change from RAW to fine JPEG or something like that. And the camera setting, because like my mind somehow knows I'm not doing the best I could. So when that frustration kicks in, I have to stop and go, okay, I'm not doing something. I know I can do better. Mm-hmm. And it is hard to catch yourself, because first you're thinking, well, maybe I'm PMSing. You try to figure it out
maybe
that
I'm
way.
Just acting crazy.
Yes.
Maybe I'm being ridiculous.
Maybe I have one of those moments.
Step back, take a breath, and try to figure out, okay, am I trying to learn something? Mm-hmm. Or am I just being ridiculous right now?
And I'm like, why am I so uneasy? Why is this bothering me? And it hit me like, oh, I need to change the lens. Because there's more I can capture that I'm seeing. But it's like, it's there, but you're not taking it in correctly. Because you're basing yourself in that box mindset of that one lens or the one whatever. Right. You're calling like, okay, if I change lens, I'm not in a box anymore.
Exactly.
And that's, part of anybody with any form of learning disabilities, that you don't like being boxed in, because that's not how you learn. You need all the multiple sensory things.
Exactly. And you need to change it up a little to finally get yourself out of the box. Uh-huh. And that's, not only is it part of learning disability, it's also part of being self-aware. Mm-hmm. Because you may not know why you're frustrated, you just know you're frustrated. Yeah. And that's my problem 99% of the time. Pat notices it sometimes, that he gets frustrated with me. But that's because I'm frustrated with myself.
It's a frustration party.
It comes full circle. So sometimes you just gotta step back.
Okay, now I have to pee. 3 beers in, my bladder's full. Okay, we're back. Oh, that was a good relief.
Sorry, posting cool stuff.
Do all the cool stuff.
Oh wait, I forgot to tag you. Yeah. There it is. Okay, we're done. There.
You're just staring at the screen for not.
I am. It's mesmerizing. I can't help it. Trying to think on more topics too.
Get pictures. The candle.
I did. It's
Bible art.
It's nice in here.
My Bible artwork book.
Listen, it's relaxing in here. There is no kid stuff. There are things that could possibly break if they were touched. I greatly enjoy it.
It's your dream life.
Oh, man. Well, it's complete opposite of my house. So, yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Look how amazing this is. Ready? You can put your feet up on the table.
And not get yelled at?
Yeah.
Wait.
She's gonna do it.
I am gonna do it.
If she's got boots on, she's gonna be more styling.
Oh, if I don't tip back in my chair. Alright, we got it. We got this. There we go. I need a selfie stick. Okay, how do I touch the button?
Use your mind.
Nope. This is ridiculous. I can't do it. That took too much effort. Alright, people, pumpkin beer kicking in. So tomorrow, summer is officially over.
Kids are no longer out for summer.
No. I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely excited for that. Although, there'll be a lot more things starting up, and I'm not too excited for that. I may or may not actually commit to the PTA this year.
Are you going to do the Scouts?
I'm definitely doing the Scouts.
Okay.
I did decide on that. I'll let the Scout leader know. She's like, yay! But PTA, I'm not too excited about. It means more peopling.
Shake them up, girl. At least you have a podcast to talk about with them. Be like, yeah, I do a podcast. You'd be like, what?
That is true. It's almost bedtime.
Mm-hmm. Almost 7.
I know. That is sad. I've actually been trying to fix my bedtime so I don't go to bed at like 2 in the morning. Because that's no bueno. So I have actually been trying to go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock, and it makes me feel like a grandma.
I force myself at 8 p.m. because sometimes I have evening events I need to stay up for. So I don't want to train my body to go to bed too early.
Right. Well, see, I feel like 7 o'clock would be an amazing bedtime. However, one, the kids don't even go to bed that early, so that's out. And 2, my body would get too used to that, so that's out.
I think if you go, at least with me, if I go to bed too early, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I gain more sleep.
Mm.
And then I want a nap during the day.
Yeah, that's the other problem. I prevent myself from taking a nap during the day by telling myself that if I have an earlier bedtime, push through the need to take a nap. Because that happens pretty near every day where I feel like I need a nap and it freaking sucks. But if I go to bed at like 8 or 9, instead of staying up until 11 or 12 or 2, as it usually happens, then I don't need a nap during the day.
Then how are you going to fit in all the scary movies?
Exactly. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Priorities.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Is usually if I do stay up past 8 o'clock, I can watch a movie. So it's hard. It's hard to find the balance, man.
Good. Did you want to do anything for dinner, or are you just going to eat at home?
I'll probably eat whatever Pat had the girls eat.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. What do we eat for lunch? Oh, I made some bacon Alfredo for lunch.
That sounds good.
It was delicious. The girls had 2 plates. I love it when they eat my cooking because they know it's good. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell he got them to eat salad. I got the second one. I got them both. Huzzah! Bugs.
You're the killer of fruit flies. The champion.
Might need a hand with... Oh! Ah, nice. Patrick sold this kegerator. Oh. Soonish. Oh, the kegerator he already sold. I got you.
Was that the one out in the patio?
Yeah, well, see, Pat quit drinking beer. So he has no need for a kegerator.
That is like something I don't know if I'll ever be able to adapt to, that he doesn't drink beer anymore.
I know, right?
That's like the biggest Pat thing ever.
I know. And he does not do that. He'll drink whiskey on occasion.
Does he drink any alcohol?
No.
No, okay.
Not for like the past 9 months.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Pretty impressive. Just kick it up on a dime. He's like, nope, I don't feel like it.
Is he trying to lose weight, or does he just have a life change?
Combination of losing weight and allergies bothering him a lot. So, drinking beer all the time probably does not help with the feeling good. You know what I mean? I mean, his allergies really acted up this year, so he's trying to figure out what's doing it.
Sometimes if my allergies are really bad, I will do whiskey or harder liquor, so I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Burn some excess alcohol, smoke a cigar, be unladylike. Because you know Pat's totally a lady.
He kind of is sometimes. I mean, he's trying to shape his girlish figure right now, so it's fine. He actually shaved his beard off, by the way.
I think he might have shaved off last time I saw him. Was that the point? The Us movie?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it was like the week after that. No, it was the day actually that I got home when we did fall shopping.
Oh, okay.
He shaved it off that day, so like we got home and he looks at me funny. And I didn't realize, like I wasn't paying attention. And then I was downstairs doing laundry and he came down and he goes, boo. And I still didn't realize Verna got chubby.
Oh, actually, Verna lost an ounce.
Really?
Yeah, she got chubby a long time ago.
Aw, I never see her. I saw her waddle across the living room. But no, I was downstairs doing laundry, and he comes down and he goes, boo. And I still didn't realize he stared me right in the face. Had no idea. And probably 2 hours later, he was getting dinner ready, and I was like getting the girls their dinner, and I go, oh. So 4 hours after I got home, about, is when I finally realized he shaved his beard.
Did he put like baby oil on and go nice and soft?
No.
Aw.
No. Doesn't need baby oil.
So he got the soft cheeks.
He does.
Aw, that's so cute.
I went, oh, there it is. He goes, there's what? The man I married.
The man you dated.
Right? I'm not a whole big fan of the beard.
So I have friends that are like so turned on by beards.
I don't get it. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm indifferent. If the guy likes to have a beard, let him have a beard. If he doesn't want a beard, he doesn't have a beard. I just, it doesn't matter to me. It's like if the guy wants long hair, then have long hair. If you have short hair, have short hair. I don't care. That's just that my big breaker of ever like anything to become
Right. It's not make or break. I don't like it, but if he wants it, he can have it.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I mean?
If it looks good in Chris Evans, no matter what, then you can have it.
Facts.
There we go. There we go. That's my gauge, Chris Evans gauge.
Patrick kind of has a Chris Evans way about him. He's got the whole baby face going on.
I think Chris Evans looks like an angel, but I know people want to debate me about that.
I would debate you about that.
Yeah, of course.
Iron Man forever. Okay, can we discuss this for a minute, please?
Okay, let's do it.
They killed Tony Stark.
Yeah, it makes sense to me, though.
Whether or not it makes sense, my head has not wrapped around this fact yet, and I'm still really upset about this.
You're still in mourning.
I am still in mourning. My head still has not wrapped the fact around the fact that Tony Stark had a kid. And he was an excellent dad, by the way. So that is, like, heart-wrenching even more. Like, stick a fork in me. I'm done. Like...
Okay. My perspective, though, we started the Marvel Universe with Iron Man 1. He ended that movie saying, I am Iron Man. We end this saga part of the Marvel Universe of him dying and saying, I am Iron Man. It's a full circle in my eyes, or mind, I should say, and it makes sense to me.
Fair.
And now when I say this, I know better, of the character, but he always came across come across as self-centered when actually he had a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was finally the character who he truly is inside coming out when he did that.
My favorite part is the medal that Pepper made him that says proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
The heart, yes.
Pepper is like my favorite character. I love her.
Mine's Peggy Carter, and oh my gosh, I was just so happy with that ending. You have no idea.
Did I miss something?
Yeah. What happened to Captain when he time traveled?
Oh my god, yes!
I'm so happy about that.
I forgot about that part.
That's another thing that made sense to me, because I feel like she has always somehow tied into these movies and even her own TV show. Actually, her TV show, Agent Carter, which is cool, only lasted 2 seasons.
I didn't know they had one.
Dealt with time travel
Oh.
and opened another dimension. So she had an insight about something. And the way she ran S.H.I.E.L.D. throughout the era, she also had an insight about something. And I always wonder how come she has that insight.
Hmm.
And they had a soulmate
She just
connection.
knows
She had her and Steve had a soul connection, soulmate connection that I was like, they're going to have to circle back around somehow.
Mm-hmm. That was like perfect.
In the TV show and with him, like him in the current era, he always had that compass of her picture. She always had that photo of him before he transformed. So there was always that, like, they literally paralleled each other in different time frames.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, it's gotta happen. And I wouldn't be surprised, at least, if they bring her character more into things.
Mm-hmm. It might. Well, now that they have the whole time travel bit, they can do so much more.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be insane. What is the next Marvel thing that's coming out?
They're branching out to some unique Marvel comics. Let me bring this out. I know they're gonna do a 4th Thor movie.
Yes. Okay. Okay, now that Iron Man is officially dead, I have to say Thor is going to be my favorite. Okay. Oh, no. I lied. It's going to be a toss-up between Thor and Quill. But now that Gamora and Quill are not a thing anymore, it's going to be really hard to deal with. So it's probably going to be Thor.
Black Widow's gonna get her own movie, but it's gonna be a prequel.
It's got to be.
Yeah. The Eternals.
The Eternals?
Yes, we're getting into some Marvel comics that were not widely famous, but they do tie into the Marvel Universe. Let's see. New Mutants was made, but I don't think it's going to come out. I think they're doing reshoots because this was made during Fox owning them, and now that Marvel has more input about it, it was badly done, so they're trying to like salvage it and redo it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Venom 2, that's a Sony though, and I think that's one of the reasons that they didn't want to agree with Disney anymore. So the Venom movie, which was actually a good movie. It was a good movie, Venom.
Don't know that I saw it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Venom 2 is going to come out, and I'm thinking that's probably why they want to keep Spider-Man now. But I don't know where they're going to take Spider-Man Sony now that, you left the awesomeness of what Disney did with it.
Right.
See, this Black we talk about the Eternals.
Is that why there's so many Spider-Mans? Because some of them are Marvel and some of them are Disney?
So, here we go.
That's always bothered me, and I've never had anybody to ask about that without sounding dumb.
Okay, Sony has the rights to Spider-Man. They made the first 3 Spider-Mans with, what's-his-name, McGuire there. And it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. And then they rebooted it, and they tried to make more of the Amazing Spider-Man, where the Amazing Spider-Man was both that he had mutated, but he also had to use his brain to make certain gadgets to work with his outfit. They only did 2 movies. The first one was okay. Second one, they just shoved too much crap into it. And they tried to over-dramatize it by killing the character, and it was just like, meh. it didn't really do that well. And then Marvel, over at Disney, was expanded so much into Civil War, and they wanted to bring, at the point, you have to bring in Spider-Man.
Right.
So then they had an agreement to have Spider-Man in Civil War, and then Spider-Man got his own movie. Then he was in the last 2 Avenger movies, and then he had his own movie again. And then they were trying to come together. I think Disney wanted to officially buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And Sony's like, nope. and wanted to run off with it to do their own thing with it again. Which I
Hmm.
mean, it's getting as bad as Superman and Batman reboots when it comes to Spider-Man. It's
Right.
just shorter span of doing it.
Right.
I personally was not a big Spider-Man fan because to me Spider-Man was more for a teenage boy.
Right.
I couldn't relate to Spider-Man.
I always felt that way too. Like, okay, so I watched Spider-Man: Homecoming when I was doing the Marvel movies in order.
Mhm.
I actually really liked that
It
one.
was good.
They did well with it. I felt like they really nailed the teenage awkwardness.
It did, and also how they got me is they put Michael Keaton in it.
Right, exactly.
Michael Keaton's always going to be my Batman.
Ah, I got you.
So you got me there.
Got you. I remember the old Batman and Robin from like the 70s, right?
Yes.
So.
Bam! Poof!
Exactly.
Smack.
Right. Kapow. Speaking of which, they have that one on Vudu, I think it is. Which is kind of amazing, and I kind of want to watch it.
This is like the old Adam West, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So let's take a moment. I want to check something. I was thinking. I just want to make sure we're still recording.
Right? Because this is good stuff.
It's giving me the circle.
No, the circle of timed out. You are in timeout.
It probably is recording. It's just not showing real-time reaction.
I gotcha.
And I'm kind of scared to do anything at this moment.
It's alright. We can just
Oh,
chill
that's
like
what
we're
we will.
recording.
Oh no.
I may or may not have to head out. Patrick might need.
Okay, we're good. I see something.
Whoop, whoop.
How about we stop for now?